Tenderloin is a district in the city of San Francisco. This is the roughest and toughest. It's about 50 city blocks, and it has 586 high-rise buildings, 37,000 people live in there, roughly 7,000 homeless population that come through there daily. We have 2 major crimes every hour. It's the highest crime in the city of San Francisco.
A local man says he's staying put in front of City Hall as he stages a hunger strike to protest, as he describes, the unacceptable conditions of the Tenderloin district.
Huang says that he is calling on the city to make sweeping changes across the impoverished community that he says has been neglected for years.
City officials say that they have received a list of demands and that they continue to have internal discussions about the situation.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to our live update. My name is Tony Gapastione. I'm one of the producers of the film 33 Days.
Hey, I'm Ed Portillo, one of the producers as well.
And we're going to be doing these live updates every Friday, 2 p.m.-ish Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Want to say thank you to everybody who has jumped on with us. We are at, drum roll please, 68,500. And that is only with 17 people. So 17 people have invested so far, and we want to say thank you to that. So shout out. We had, even over the past couple of days, Ed, right? We had a few people who I think just found us on WeFunder. Is that right?
Yeah, big shout out to WeFunder. We were included in their weekly email blast to everyone that's a supporter or a previous investor signed up for their email list. So I think we got some momentum from that, some people that really got behind it.
That is so fantastic. Yeah, so we want to say thank you, people who put their names out, Jason Roberts, Beth Dickerson, thank you to Gary Francis. Those are some of the most recent. We're really grateful for you jumping on and partnering with us. You can still do that today and until we reach our goal. We are 33daysfilm.com. You can also find us on all the socials at 33 Days Film. And Ed, you want to talk about the terms that if people invest now, there is an early bird bonus for people who invest at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. So normally we have a term where you would get your investment back plus 10%, but during this early bird process, we're offering for 20. So once we hit 100,000, and everyone that's invested in that window will get 20% above their initial investment.
I think it's really important. You know, both Ed and I have been in the entertainment world for quite some time, and I have made a ton of films, short film versions with many different platforms, crowdfunding platforms. But WeFunder is different. This is not a Kickstarter. This is not an Indiegogo. This is not a Seed and Spark where we're saying, please donate. We are saying invest, because the intention is that you will be repaid, because our vision for this is to obviously make it a feature film that becomes profitable, and we find a distribution strategy and platform that enables us to return the investments of those of you who decide to partner with us. So thank you for considering. You can go to 33daysfilm.com today to do that. And we just want to do a quick let's give you a little insight into the story,
inside
the film, how we actually came to be a part of it. It started with Roger, obviously, and Roger's book that is available on Amazon. You can go find it. It's called Chasing God. It's basically his memoir of coming to California, coming to America, of his upbringing in Taiwan, his abusive upbringing, and the way that his trauma informed his compassion. So he tried to avoid the impoverished community of the Tenderloin, but when he saw a young boy being harassed and beaten up and turned away from that, he was haunted by the fact that this is what had happened to him. And if he had had somebody stand in his life for justice and intervene in him, maybe his life would have gone a different way. So Roger Huang did something that changed the course of not only his future and his family, but the course of hundreds of thousands of people in San Francisco's Tenderloin. Started a school, a church, a rescue mission. And then in 2004, while Gavin Newsom was mayor of San Francisco, he did a 33-day hunger strike. And so that's the whole concept of the film. Ed and I have been friends for quite some time. Ed came up to visit City Impact, in which Roger started, and got a copy of the book. And then his heart started to connect not only with the story, but with the people. And then take it from there, Ed. Talk about what happened to you.
I was actually looking at my Facebook memories, and I said, some people have power lunches. I just had a power breakfast or power sit down for coffee. And Tony, came down in LA because he's from Redwood City. And we were just talking. He's like, let's just talk about the big project. Let's just dream. What do you want to work on? I'm like, well, I got this idea. I'm not really sure. But I ended up telling him about 33 days and how we could really make this into a film. The anchor the 33-day hunger strike and then interweave his life story so the audience understands why this person was willing to put his life on line for others. And immediately Tony's like, well, I can get connected. Let's start doing it. He started texting. He started saying, he started the whole momentum. And I'm like, wait, we don't have anything. He's like, it's all right. Let's just keep on going. And that really turned into this long journey, which, if you're interested in independent films, in any type of, just understand it's the long game. It's going to take a while for it to really get to the place where you want it to be. In our case, it really kind of took us since 2013 when we really kind of started working on it. So at least talking about the idea, and here we are. So it does take a while, but from that, we actually had an opportunity to pitch to Roger and his family, and through a couple course of events and things, we were able to get the option. And Tony, why don't you talk a little about the option? What does that all entail for a project to be made?
So, when you have a true story and a filmmaker says, oh, I want to make it into a film, well, it costs money to do that. So in this case, people can option someone's literal life rights. They can option an article that is written about somebody in a periodical. Well, Roger had this book, and so we said we want to option this book to turn it into a film. And at the time, there was another production company that had put an offer in to do it as well. And so it's interesting that at first they went with a different production company, and in this contract that they had with this other production company, it ended up lapsing. That production company didn't do anything with it. And then they came back to us and said, we actually really wanted to go with you, but our agent was trying to get us to go with somebody else. And then it just was kind of a beautiful kind of coalescing of our team and the time and space that we had to get everything together and the work that we had done in that interim time. So we got the rights to Roger's book, and we have been, putting basically materials together, treatment, which is fancy terms for like an outline and vision for what the film will look like, what the story will be about, but also it needs a script. So the process has been quite long. Originally, we have a great partner in Brent McCorkle, who was a part of a film called I Could Only Imagine. We contacted him. I stalked this guy on the internet, and first he was like, no, I'm not interested. And then he said, well, let me hear what it's all about. Then he joined us, and he ended up writing about a 45-page treatment that then the directors, Dan and Dave Holchek and myself, ended up taking and putting into a script. So we have a 100-page script as of right now that has been through multiple iterations. And so that will continue to change, so as Ed said, it is a marathon. This has been going on for 7 years, and it'll probably go on for a couple more years as we raise the money. Hopefully we'll be in production in 2021. But once we attach some cast, then it will probably change a little bit more, because the cast will have their say in how they see the characters coming to life. And it'll just be a really beautiful process. The filmmaking journey is like the film that you write, the film that you produce, the film that the actors act, the film that the editors edit. It's just this really cool journey of collaboration. And that's where we are today, is asking for your partnership.
And if I could add a little bit about the special connection that we have with the team. I mean, part of the reason why we were able to initially meet with Roger and pitch to Roger is because we have personal experience working alongside Roger. So initially it was Tony with the ministry that he had in Redwood City, bringing volunteers to volunteer at the Tenderloin. And I think, didn't you base a project that you were doing that was a homeless church? It was like an outreach that you were basing it off of what you experienced or what was going on in City Impact. So
Yeah, well, I had started something something similar in 2001 that's now called Street Life, and I would go to San Francisco to learn more because mine was very ragtag, and I needed to learn how to build it into something. And obviously, Roger and City Impact had this huge organization that was working on so many different, cylinders.
Yeah, and then I ended up getting hired to be the manager of the San Francisco Rescue Mission, and so I have lived experience knowing what is the important day-to-day work that City Impact does. Terry Liu is a board member of City Impact, so he's been volunteering for a while. And then of course Dan and Dave, as the directors and writers, they have experience as their day job is an editor. They're lead editors on many shows, but they're really talented on storytelling, and their parents were navigators, so they're part of a ministry that was dedicated to serving the college age people. So a lot of people have an understanding of what this ministry, what this organization does. And so that's what makes this team really special, is that we can not only just speak into what's happening, but we know what is going on to the day-to-day in the organization, which kind of makes it special as well as amazing storytellers, as well as amazing creatives as well. So
I think it's pretty cool, Ed, that you ended up working there. Like that just kind of, for me, boggles my mind in a really great way. I remember having a conversation with you in a laundromat in the Tenderloin after a day of us serving, super sweaty and grungy, and we're just sitting in this laundromat and just talking about the movie, talking about this whole story, and then you end up pulling your life out of LA, and it's just beautiful. It's so cool. And now look at you, you met your wife, you have a family now. It's just, what a cool story. So we hope that you will join us. We hope that you'll go to 33daysfilm.com and invest today, $100 minimum, which is great. Encourage you to talk it over with friends and family. We believe this story is something that culture needs, especially right now as we wait for our election results. I believe everything is spiritual. Everything is political. Everything works together. And here, Roger's story is one example of how you should never underestimate the power of humanity. Never underestimate the power of one person to change the world. It truly is a great miracle of a story that we hope you will join us in bringing to life. Ed, anything else you want to say?
But keep tuning in every week. We're going to give you more inside information. We might even have one of the actors join us. We might have family members, Roger himself. So we're going to continue to be giving out the Friday updates as we get closer to reaching our goal. So check in next time, next week at 2 p.m. for sure.
That's right. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see